Om asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om shanti shanti shanti. So we are going to study Karma Yoga. Yes, we divided into two parts, this talk and the next talk. Together will be. And as it was mentioned in the preview, that it's the only spiritual discipline that majority of the humankind can claim to be doing. And it's also true that you don't have to go into wilderness or show that you are a follower of religion or spirituality. You can do it wherever you are. That's all fine. Another important plus point is that you have got ample of opportunities to test how committed you are in this path. We are going to deal with the first word of the karma and yoga. Two. One is karma, and that has to be done like a yoga. So in order to that, we need to understand what actually karma is. Of course, all of you know what karma is. It's already in the dictionary, big, very popular word. Everyone uses it. But still, we ought to know many things about it. So usually we say, oh, work. Karma means work, action. It's fine. That's one of the definition or the meaning. But then work can be done even by, what do you call, non-sentient things. Like, for example, an engine works. It's in with good working condition. Is he ever going to be a karma yogi? No. Karma involves action and transformation of energy. That's all fine. A waterfall falling and you produce hydroelectricity, energy is converted, all that. But do we think that it is doing karma? No. So in order to convert or to understand the work or the work to become karma, certain things are needed. Certain aspects of forces are needed. So what are they? Let's think about it. So in order to work to be a karma, first thing is it should be done by a conscious entity, a living being. It's according to Gita. Gita calls it adhisthana, the substratum, the consciousness. So a living entity, it has to. So then can we say that animals, birds, trees, they're living, they have consciousness. So do we think that's also you can karma? But it's a karma, but the universal life, the Prakriti takes care of it. So for work to become karma, there's a second important thing. That is the doership, kartrutva, what it is called as. I am doing this. I do this action. It's for me, my enjoyment. I do this action. This sort of agency, that's number two. And third, no one does action without some motive. And of course, the greatest motive is desire. In the Nasadya Suktam, it says, Kamastadagre samavarthatati. The desire goes in the forefront of the evolution. And Swami Vivekananda, in his poem on creation, he says, Shetha hote bohe karanadhara. From there, that is from the transcendental, flows the flow of river causal. Causation starts from there. What? How? Varying the form of desire radiant, varying the radiant form of desire, the souls come out. You know, Shri Krishna says everything is absorbed back into the Prakriti, and then after some period, again, the projection of the universe starts. And what's the cause of that projection? Kamastadagre, desire. That's why it says it, wearing the radiant form of desire, and it's heaving waters angrily roaring, constant roar of I am, aham, iti sarvakhan, always. From there itself, I starts. So I am. And for what? I want to fulfill this desire. That's the second. The third aspect is the bhoktritva, the desire and the enjoyment. Bhoktritva means not just enjoyment. Actually, bhoktritva, you can experience it. That will be the better. Because always it's not that we are going to enjoy. There is a lot of suffering too. We also say bhoganti, dukkha bhog, we say in our colloquial languages. Dukkha bhog, that is, we are experiencing misery. Bhoga need not always be enjoyment. Bhoga is also suffering. Experience is also suffering. Different type of experiences are there. So this experience, so a living entity, the doer, the experiencer, and this doer has a moral responsibility. See, no other creature feels it because that's done by nature. Nature looks after it. Man alone feels that moral responsibility. Animals don't, always have mentioned this, animals don't transgress the nature. They abide by nature. So nature takes care of them. There is neither accumulation. They can't accumulate karma because they have no choice. They just follow the dictates of the nature. But man has freedom. Man feels the sense of freedom. Man has the moral responsibility, and that gives choice to do, what not to do. So this choice, and with the choice comes the inevitability of the result. So I do some work, I know I'm responsible for it, and I will have to reap the result, the inevitable result. So when a person does karma, there are two types of effect of the karma. 2-3 type of effects come, doesn't matter. Now we are going to deal with one. Later on, we will deal with other. Even this also, I'm just touching it, that's all. There is a cosmic result. When we do a karma, there's a cosmic result. And that will bear its fruit in time. So, and no one has any say in it. It is, we are bound to accept it and go through it. So this is the inevitability of the result of action. So 5 things. Shri Krishna says, Adhishtanam tadhakarta karanam cha prithakvidam vividhas cha prithakcheshta daivam chaivatr panchamam. Whatever you do, good or bad, with this body, mind, these 5 factors are essential. So for a work to become karma, these 5: association with consciousness, doership, experiencer, moral responsibility, and the inevitability of the results of action. All this constitutes work. So by negating, by understanding how this works, so work, which always has the tendency to bind, can become a liberating force when done properly. That is what we need to understand. And every one of us have to work, because the work starts from there, from the causal. So when we speak of the Vedanta philosophy, we say Ajnana, Kama, Karma, and repetition. So ignorance, desire, from ignorance comes, ignorance is ignorance of one's nature, true nature. And out of it, because of this ignorance comes the desire, and because of desire comes karma, and because of karma comes the repetition, and it goes, continues. So work is always there. Everyone, Sri Krishna says, not a second can we be without working. Nahi kashchit kshanam jatu tishtatya karma. We are forced to, avasha, by prakriti jairgunai, by the very nature. All of us have to work. And to think, so we are working, and we have got different ideas about karma yoga. People claim, oh, she was a great karma yogi. I'm a great karma yogi. We do not know what they mean by that. Just because doing the movement of the muscles, movement of the body, transformation of energy is not karma yoga. Karma yoga is primarily a spiritual discipline which aims at liberation or moksha. And it needs some qualification. Before we think that we are karma yogas, we should know what qualifications do we have. And first and foremost of it is aspiration. Aspiration is the vital thing. If that is there, even without knowing all this, the philosophy of karma, you will be. The very sheer aspiration will take you. It will not allow you to identify yourself with karma or its result. And thereby you become competent to do karma yoga. And then karma yoga is done with a higher awareness. With a higher awareness. Not as I am so and so, not with that. With a higher awareness we do. And third is detachment of the will. That's more important. And we always God-oriented. The orientation is towards spirituality, God, the Atman, whatever. But these are the things that makes karma differ from karma yoga. Actually, karma yoga is we think it's a physical discipline. No, it's a mental discipline. It is how you discipline your mind and save your energy and apply it for higher purpose. If we know the science of work, then lot of energy can be saved and it can be used for higher purposes. The next comes is naturally we think, what is this fuss about karma and karma yoga? And aren't people doing good work? So many people out there doing so wonderful work. How much they are contributing to the community and all that. And what's the karma yoga, karma yoga, karma? What's the meaning? No, there is a difference. See, from the ancient time, Hinduism has recognized, the Vedas have recognized twofold paths of karma. In to his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, Shankaracharya says, dharma or the philosophy taught in the Vedas is of twofold nature, characterized by pravritti, that is outgoing action, and nivritti, inward meditation, meant for the even stability of the world, which are meant to ensure true abhyudaya, socio-economic welfare, and nishreyas, spiritual freedom to all beings. So these are two types. Both involve work. Pravritti, nivritti, both involve work. But pravritti is done by the whole 99.9% of humanity follow pravritti because it is very consistent with their uh, thinking and all. Everyone has to work. The outgoing tendencies are there. They do work. And then good work also they may be doing. Doing good work need not be karma yoga. Karma yoga means good work should be there. Do you understand? Karma yoga without good work is no karma yoga. But good work itself is not karma yoga. We should understand this difference. There can be no karma yoga without any service, or your compassion, work, good work, all this, noble acts. These all are part of karma yoga. But this in itself is not karma yoga. It needs something more. That is called as nivritti. When karma becomes nivritti, then it becomes karma. Karma yoga is a nivritti marga, where essentially detachment of will is more important. That's the only thing. Once the will is detached, then your aspiration for spiritual, that itself will take you within. All the energies are turned in, and then we progress in our spiritual life. So pravritti and nivritti are these two. So generality of the humankind, doing all the noble, that belongs to pravritti only. Best, Sri Ramakrishna tells in the gospel, speaking about Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. See, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, those days in Bengal, was a very famous person, very great person. And they had given him another adjective, Dayasagar. Vidyasagar, Dayasagar. Vidyasagar means ocean of learning. Dayasagar means ocean of compassion. He was very compassionate. He was very learned and all that. Yet, Sri Ramakrishna says, Ishwar Chandra hasn't realized what is within him. With all this, he is very happy by teaching, by doing good, but he hasn't understood what the precious thing that is within him, that God alone is within him, that he hasn't understood. He hasn't understood that. That means to say, from the point of spirituality, even doing good work won't come until and unless you have proper spiritual orientation, right understanding. Good work many people do, but they all are not spiritual. And Sri Ramakrishna then says, yeah, many people need to do for a long time. For a long time, they need to do this sort of good work. And at some time of the period, their mind will turn within. It's a question of time. But that is only a prerequisite. That's only the preparation. Doing good work is not the end of it. It's the means. We should understand means and end are two different things. So until and unless we attain purity, we have to check. And charity, noble work, giving our time, and listening to all this will become part of karma yoga. And another one thing, so many people do good work, and they think that they are doing karma yoga, but it isn't working. It doesn't work. In Swami Adbhutananda Maharaj's life, there is a conversation between two Western ladies and Swami Adbhutananda, who was an illiterate for the common man. He didn't know even to read and write Bengali. So they had come to meet him, and there was an interpreter. Then the ladies say, we agree with you as far as you say that noble works, we have to do good works. But I don't know why you people bring God in it. Don't understand. It is enough for us to do good and then leave it. Why God? And then the argument uh, goes on, and the Swami asks, fine, well, you are doing good. What are you getting back? What are you getting back? What's the effect of this work on you? What are you gaining by doing? See, human beings, the gene is always selfish. So always what I gain by this is constant. This is there behind, whether we know it or not. It may not be very, what do you call, explicit, but it is there. So what do you get? The ladies couldn't answer. You see the fallacy of your argument. But if you know that everything is done by God or for the sake of God's children, then you have the satisfaction that you have served God. You have served God. So there is a spiritual evolution in you. You have that itself. With this motive, if you bring God, everything becomes great and good, and you don't bother whether you get the result or not. It belongs to God. And that itself will make your understanding so clear. You will not have doubt. You will not ask, what did I gain? Because that in itself will bring such a great satisfaction and an understanding, deeper understanding of life, that you won't ask, what did I gain? That's the difference. Pravritti marga. That's the effect of doing work in a right attitude. And as it is said, when we do action, there are certain effects. And what are those effects? Very obvious effect is karma's effect on character. Whatever we do, whatever action we do, it produces some good results, some bad results, some happiness, some miseries. The happiness and miseries, when they pass through our life, they make an impression on our mind. And this impressions collectively is called as character. Swami Vivekananda says, when we do actions, they bring pleasure or pain, and these experiences leave an impression on the soul. And the result of this combined impression is what we call character. So that's an obvious thing. So pravritti is needed to build up the character. So if one cannot detach the self, detachment of the will is not there, then we need to do plain pravritti work. Pravritti, plain pravritti, good work. How? Doing good work, acts of charity, service, keeping holy company, study of the scriptures, practice of discernment, and prayer to God. With all this, we will get strength to do detached work with detachment. So all this belongs to pravritti. Even this, in order to do karma yoga, these practices, even those who do karma yoga, they say, may I do it sincerely, unselfishly. May I not project the tentacle of my doership in this work. We pray for strength, praying for the Lord to enable us so that we will not be tempted by the results. And action brings arrogance. If the results doesn't come, why didn't it go? I have put all this. There are certain people so vain they are. A certain person is doing a lot of work, and he had the audacity to ask, do you do something good work, charity work? to others. Can you imagine? Do anybody tell that I do all this charity, I give all this donations, I give all this? Does anybody say? We are told that our left hand must not know what the right hand is. Giving is so charity is such a sacred thing that nobody will not. Just a story, because the topic is too dry, you'll fall asleep. Um, there was a certain man, very rich, living in a big mansion. Always, mansions, gates are always closed, doors are always closed. No entry. You have a bell and you have got a camera and things like that. None can enter. So that's how the man lived. Opposite to him, there was a middle class, ordinary person, and very, very charitable person, always giving people what went beyond his means. Was being noble, but so many people would come to him to seek help and always ready to give. And then what happened one day, the neighbor, the front house person, the rich man died. The rich man died. And people said, "Ah, what an horrible man, living in such a big mansion, having so much of wealth. He never opened his fist to give charity. Didn't give anything. All hoarded to himself. What sort of a person he is?" And no one bothered to go to the funeral or whatever it is. After some days, as usual, people used to stream to this man and ask. He said, "Sorry, I don't have money. All the money what I used to give is that man, the rich man. He was the one who was giving, not me. And I could not tell you this because he had promised me not to tell who is the giver." So quiet. All the charity is done by this rich man himself, but never made people know that he was the one who the the other man was doing it on his behalf. And he couldn't even tell people that it's not he. People were praising him and giving, adoring him, giving all that. But he couldn't even tell because he had promised, man, he had taken a promise that as long as I'm alive, don't. There are great people even now who just do and get out. They don't even come and tell this, I have donated this one for this much of money I have come and donated. No, silently they do what they want to do and they get out of this world. Such noble people are also there. So it's very, so this type of, by doing all this, slowly the inner awakening. And this is one. And then this forms, then it becomes a character. It becomes, upon the ages of struggle, a character is built, Swamiji says. So some good thing we do and we get joy and we try to do it again. It's the joy which is making us to do again. See, there is so much of sense of satisfaction. One lady had told, they used to serve so much sadhus. I one day asked, what is the motive? What does it mean? What makes you to serve? Mataji, there's a great joy in serving sadhus. Because she was a devotee, she understood. There's a joy, and hence we do that. So people do it because there is a joy. Something you are reducing from yourself and giving. And like how Christ said, there must be a pinch. You have abundance, and out of that abundance you are giving, there's no meaning. There should be a pinch. There's something out of my very necessary, very important. Like supposing I have some money which I can feed my children, out of that I give, curtailing. So that is the great charity. That's the Bible we have that, the widow's offering. And that reduction of the thing, that's a sacrifice. And that gives purity of the mind. And purity of mind brings peace. And people get a taste for that. And that's how continuously they keep doing that. And then it becomes a character. So this is an obvious effect of karma on character. The other thing is the fruit of action. When we do some action, result is there. And in our Mimamsakas tell that even a fool doesn't take an undertaking without some motive. So motive is always there. Explicit or implicit. It is there. It is there. And they do bring results. And this is what Karma Yoga is asking us not to do. Don't eye on it. Just do it. And there is reasons for it also. So before understanding the reasons, because as we keep doing, I told you, as they keep doing, the mind becomes clear, and then we understand the workings of the Prakriti. We understand the working of our own mind. Scripture says, just implicitly you follow this. Just don't eye on the results and do your action. Practice this for a few times, then it has its effect. We understand the result. The first, the Karma Yoga says, stop thinking of the action. Don't think of the consequence. Just do it. That's the one. Because these results may come later on or may come immediately, depending upon the action. That is there. And the second one is the karmic residue. When we do actions, good or bad, they produce a cosmic results, which I was speaking to you in the beginning. And its result comes, it's a cosmic result and an unseen result, adrishta. Adrishta. In our colloquial world, we call, oh, it was in my adrishta. This was it, like luck or destiny, something like that. It's not either luck nor destiny. This is what Hinduism calls the results of luck. This cosmic result. So adrishta, because it is not seen. Drishta means that which is seen. It's to I can see it. Adrishta means that which I cannot see. Somewhere it is stored up. Somewhere. And that will come back. And this type of karma, so many we have done. And everything is stored up. Packages. In this life, this. The next life, this. So we have got a lot of, and the Vedanta calls it as sanchita karma. All the karmas that we have accumulated so far. Sanchita karma, they are there. And Patanjali calls it as karmashaya, the totality of this karma. That's only difference. Sanchita karma. Vedanta, we are used to this word, sanchita karma. It's all accumulated. It's not that I did some karma and I die and then in my next birth I'm going to be. No. There are many packages are there. Many bags are there kept behind. And they will have to wait for the fruition. All doesn't fruit up together. And Ishvara is the giver of result. He's in the heart. So his computer doesn't go wrong. Straight, whatever I do, it will come to me only. It will not go to anybody. No cyber attack. All these things is not there. His computer is very, very clear. Nothing. No one can put hand. No one has the capacity to do it. No one can do it. He is karma phala data. Even the non-dualist, people like Totapuri, they may not accept Saguna Brahma or what you call this Mother Kali and all that. But they believe in Ishvara, Karma Phaladata, giver of the results of karma. He is there. That they believe. So his computer is very clear. Only you will get what you have done. I'll get what this deserving. Swami Vivekananda says, you will not get anything more or anything less. This deserving is called as karma. In one of his definition of karma, he says. And so the Sanchita karmas, it's all there. Those which have come in time, the fruition, those are packed. And they are, okay, these are for now. These are ready to work out. So they become prarabdha karma, which we are going to start. And with that, we come into this universe with that bag. It's called a prarabdha karma. I always, when Gayatri ji, during the mango seasons, she picks up all the fruit mango. So you're picking from all, we have got boxes we keep, and there's a lot of, in big yield is there. We put all we from the tree, we cut, bring it, keep it there. And then daily Gayatri ji will go and see from this box how many mangoes are this and how many, all the good ones. And so now these are ready for using. So like that, these karmas are like that. There are so many, and we pick them, God, whichever is vipaka, they call it. When it is right for fruition, those are sent. And don't ask me how he does it, because Sri Krishna himself says, Gahana karmano gatihi. Very intricate is the working of karma. Very intricate. Only he alone knows it. We say, no, God alone knows why this happened, because he knows it. So he is the karma phala data. He is the giver of karma phala. And so this is the another effect of karma. You see, this is my kapal. This is my lalathe likitam, written in my forehead. So this is the sanchita karma. This inevitable, this what do you call, forcefully, avasha. Shri Krishna uses the word avasha, helplessness. Helplessly, you have to come to work out your karma. And that helplessness is called as bondage. What is bondage? This sanchita karma, you have to work it out. There is no human being can have any influence, but God can. An incarnation of God can. We call an incarnation of God Kapala Mochana, who can make a change. He can do, undo, or modify. And he can, if he wants, he can remove it completely. So that is what grace. And then the Holy Mother says, prayer has so much effect on karma. When the karma is come, very bad karma, whatever it has come. So when we intensely pray to God, they can change it. They can reduce its effect. Prayer reduce. Holy Mother says, where your whole leg has to be amputated, maybe you will have a cut or just an operation and things will be fixed. That is. The whole leg has to be amputated. To that extent, the injury might be due to karma. No, with prayer, the things might. So these are the unseen forces working on us due to our praying. That is why we pray. Why do we ask? Why do we pray? We know karmas are very strong. Prayer can help and God can do it. With this faith, we do it. So this is another. And the third, these two are cosmic. We don't have any control over it. But there is another effect of karma that is on the individual mind. It's not only the adrishta cosmic effect. When I do some karma, it affects my mind. It has an impact on my mind. And that's what we call samskaras. That's how Swamiji was telling about character. That the sum totality of these impressions are the character. So these samskaras are there. The impressions are on the mind. This is individual. That is cosmic, and this individual. Supposing you have the habit of smoking and you give it up. So that thing is registered. That experience is registered in our mind. So these samskaras are of two types. One is desire for enjoyment. The other is desire for the results of the work. All the animals do. Only man alone has got this desire for the result. I do some work, I have to get this result. This sort of feeling is only for confined to human beings. Because nature has evolved this cerebral system for us. And we are the crown of creation. Because we can, the work, by work, we can be bound, and the same work can also liberate. And that is what we are learning. Samskaras are of two types. One is the desire for enjoyment and the desire for results. And there's another something which only we human beings have: memory. Animals don't have memory. If not, they would come and attack us one day. You fellows, you two-legged creatures, you did this to us, you did that to us. They would come because they don't have the memory. Memory is in the highly evolved cerebral system. It's there. So memory, smriti. I do something and I can remember. So there is an enjoyment and there is a memory of it. Both the arousal of one can be have an impact on the arousal of the other. The moment the memory comes, the urge to repeat the action may come. These two are the important thing. But even this desire for enjoyment, maybe see something I might remember. Oh, I ate pizza in such a shop. It's a wonderful pizza. How I would love to eat. Such type of ideas to come that to repeat the action. I'm just giving a simple exam I'm giving. So the memory brought the desire to have one more pizza. So this can happen. So it's very difficult for us to overcome. For the beginners like us, what we can do is we don't give opportunity for the physical expression of these desires. We keep it aside. We keep the things of desires away. And so what happens when the desires come, they just get it deflated. They become weak. That's the only way we can bring it to what do you, as a seed form. So it's there. And then with all that what I said, like prayer, discernment, with all this, we can strengthen our will. So karmas will bring the results. And with all this karma yoga practices, whatever we do, we will deal with the practical aspects of karma yoga in our next talk. I'm just giving some of this psychological processes that are involved in karma and the karma yoga. And then when this is done, when we start practicing with great effort, with prayer and all that, then the mind gets a power called as interiority of the mind. The mind turns pratyak pravanata. The mind goes inward. And once the will is detached, actually this karma, this smriti, what do you call the memory and the vasanas, by themselves, they are not troublesome. They may come, but it is this will which goes and hooks. Will is the dynamic aspect of the self. Dynamic aspect of the self is will. The strong will. And will, its basis is the consciousness. That is when the will goes and hooks, then that desire becomes an intention. And it becomes living. And then it haunts. Not in the simple cases, in big things. It will haunt. Then if our discrimination, our discernment is not powered by prayer, it is not easy to fight that. It's not easy to fight. It will drag it and we'll commit it. And finished. So at such times, we should learn to detach the will. There are ways of doing that. Will. When something of this type comes, those who have faith in God, something we hold on to God. Oh, Master, enable me to get out of this. We understand it is there, it's coming. I may be overpowered by it, but we hold on to God's feet and pray for strength. See? And how we do, like leeches, when the leech holds, you cannot pull the leech. No, you will bleed. And some of the thing may even go into your system. So if you can't, what you have to do is you have to put salt on the mouth of the leech, then it will leave. So that is this discernment, this prayer, japa. Prayer is the best thing for the detachment of the will. And then you can feel it. You yourself, you understand. It's gone. Just like how the leech lives and falls off, this strong, what do you call, desire, whatever it has come, it just drops off. And study, deep study, and prayer, meditation, selfless work. Get out, do something to others. For the time being, forget yourself. That wave has gone, it has gone, it has become. So constantly doing that very particular desire which is haunting, that becomes weak. And then it helps us to go forward. And once we learn this, what do you call, art of detaching, it's a very tough, this is called as what we call viveka, vairagya. What do we mean by it? Viveka, vairagya, they go together. We should have aspiration is the tail. Discernment and detachment are the wings. And the flight of the bird from alone to alone is on the wings of detachment and discernment, and with the tail of dedication, devotion, aspiration, whatever you call. With these three, then the flight of the alone to alone. This happens. I think much of it. So that's the only thing. When the will is withdrawn through detachment, then the samskaras or vasanas become weak. They don't disturb. And with other spiritual practices, we strengthen ourselves and then we proceed in our particular path, whatever we go. And as far as Shankara and other traditional acharyas concerned, Shankara, Ramanuja, with them, Karma Yoga is a preparation for purity of the mind. Shankara says, through Karma Yoga, Chitta Shuddhi, purity of the mind is cultivated, and through Upasana on Saguna Brahma, we have studied about that, isn't it? So through Upasana, we attain concentration of the mind, the penetrating capacity to break the crust of name and form. And then we see the light behind the name and form. So this, for a jnani, for an Advaitist, Karma Yoga is a primary step. And Upasana is a second step. With these two, with purity and concentration, we go forward in the path of Advaita Vedanta. And from the point of Bhakti, through Karma Yoga, purity is attained. And through knowledge, you attain concentration. There's a difference. Both have devotion. Shankara also has a concept of devotion, and Ramanuja also has a concept, but of knowledge. Ramanuja is the teacher of Bhakti path. Shankara is the teacher of Jnana path. Shankara has a concept of Bhakti, and Ramanuja has a concept of Jnana. But his Bhakti is not his Bhakti, and his Jnana is not. That's the difference. According to Shankara, Bhakti is Swaswarupa Anusandhana. Your dedication and determination to understand your true self, that is devotion. And what is Jnana according to Ramanuja? Understanding your eternal relationship with the eternal God, and to understand your dependence on God. That is the knowledge. You are not a free entity. A jiva can never do anything. It's through Ishvara. You get all your power, strength from the Ishvara. So the concepts differ according to their philosophy. But for both of them, Karma Yoga is a preliminary purification step. It's only Sri Krishna and Swami Vivekananda who have made it a very independent path to realization, about which we will consider in our next talk. That's it.
So there's time for question and answer session. You're welcome to ask questions, even those joining us via Zoom. Welcome as well. We'll be able to hear you.
Too philosophical. Mataji, any general question? Yes, you can. You are come here.
I have a question. Can anyone hear me? Hello?
Fred, we'll come to you in a minute. We've just got somebody in the audience here asking a question. We'll come to you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, please.
Dharma.
Huh?
Okay. Hinduism is known as Sanatana Dharma. And for Sanatana Dharma, to understand Sanatana Dharma, what I have read from what I have learned is a law of eternal law. When you say eternal law, what are these laws we are talking about to understand Sanatana Dharma?
See, you can't say eternal law. Eternity is something which is beyond law. Huh?
Okay.
Eternity and law won't go to it. That is the eternal things are the only things which are beyond law. They are the eternal because they are beyond law. Law is something which works within space, time, causation. So that you can say. That you can say. So eternal law means in a relative sense you can say, not from the absolute sense. Absolute sense you say that which is eternal is always there. It's always there. There is no time. It's not. That is your true nature. You as pure consciousness are eternal. You are always there. There is nothing. Shri Krishna says there was no time where you weren't there, I wasn't there, and these kings were not there. In the Gita, in the second chapter, is it all these kings and you, me, there was no time when we were not there. That means we are always there. And Shri Krishna, as a human being who has come to our realm, or we all of us, we are limited beings. But there is something which is eternally in us. And that has been somehow what do you call? It's imprisoned in space, time, causality. And these have some laws. These are what? The laws of karma, all this. Yeah, but as a soul, you don't have laws. Huh. The translation is, it's a bit, what do you call, confusing. There is something which is beyond law, which is your true nature, which is we as selves, our true nature. And all our struggle is to get to that center by overcoming the laws which pertain to this relative world from the Prakriti. From the Prakriti, or you call, how do I tell? From monotheistic God, is Brahman is there. Ultimate reality, eternal, existence, awareness, consciousness, bliss, one, infinite, non-dual, which is the self of you and which is the self of me and all of us. That is there. Space, time, and causation is like a, what do you call? It's a framework. Within this reality is reflected. and it gives a notion of reality. So the world becomes real. The one world becomes real, your personality becomes real, and God becomes from whom we have come. So the God, Ishvara, Bhagavan, whatever we say, it starts from this line, not from the other line. That is different. That me, you, all of us are same. But when we fall within this framework of this time, space, and causation, then we have got our individualities, we have got this manifoldness, and with that comes law. So this is what, and these laws you have to abide till you realize your true nature. From that point, you can call them as eternal laws, laws of morality, laws of karma. These are all that way. And Sanatana Dharma has. See, when we say morality and laws of karma, morality in Semitic religion are it's a contract between God and man. So as long as man abides by the commandments, God protects them. This is what the Old Testament says. And that's morality for them. To abide by the commandments is the morality. But in Sanatana Dharma, law of karma is the basis of morality. We call it as law of karma.
So if that is the case, then are we all governed by the law of karma?
You are governed by the.
As a Hindu, I believe that.
Yes, you are governed by the karma,
Yes.
but God has given you the strength to go beyond that. You can. So this law of karma can bind us. This law of karma can release you also. So it depends upon you, how you use it. Karma has two. It can bind you, it can liberate you. When you hold on everything to you, and there is something called as universal law, eternal law, what you say, that is, Sri Krishna speaks about it in the Gita. He says, I have made this yajna. This is, and have asked you help this one, and they will help. Mutual help. It's a dharma chakra, or eternal laws going on, the universal laws going on. What it says is, everything what you need for your survival, for your sustenance, is given by the universal life. You draw it from them. What happens is, man appropriates everything to himself. Here where we go wrong. Everything me. You see what's happening? Me, me, me. When we do not return it, you have got to, it's like a cycle. It's going on. You draw in, you take sustenance, you give back to the community, society, to the universal life. When you hold on to yourself, that brings you bondage. From there it starts. So you have that capacity to do so. All this is learned to free yourself. You have to abide by these laws, and you as a human being, this is a privilege. This is the greatness about you, that you can transcend them. And that is why we practice this religion. Because you have got something precious to you than the laws. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, Fred. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, Balaji. You said that animals had no memory. Can you explain what you meant by that?
Look, if somebody goes and tries to kill a tiger, and to its good luck, it escaped, and you are still in the, you went to kill a tiger, and the tiger somehow escaped your shots, and it knows you are living in the, what do you call that, bungalow, forest bungalow. if it had the memory, it would come back to attack you. You did this to me. I'll show you what I am. And it wouldn't be there to come and tell Mataji, yes, the animals have memory, Mataji. He wouldn't be there to tell me that.
Okay.
This is what the nature.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah. So that is why many things are there.
Except, I think to some, I understand that, and that the tiger's not going to sort of exact revenge, but animals do have memory. Otherwise, how would my cat recognize
Yes,
me or know where
remembers
the
its kid.
food is? Or
It
so,
remembers young one. It
but
remembers
it's
young one.
it's not
It will not, that memory will not
yeah,
have.
it's not going to seek revenge.
No, that memory doesn't have the capacity to make an impression, and it will not have an impression of its life in the next life. That will not come. Even in that life also.
Oh yeah, okay, I get that, but yeah.
like a
yeah, that's
mother,
why I wanted the
mother
explanation.
hen, she knows
because it's a bit.
It will not bring what you call these consequences. Cause and effect things will not have from that memory. As
It's
an,
like I'm
as
sitting
an
here,
organism, it will
I'm
have
sitting,
a bit. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting though. Yeah. It's interesting sitting here and that, and I can be sitting out in the veranda having lunch and the birds turn up because they know that I'm going to feed them if they turn up. So they see me, oh, the kitchen's open, turn up. So there is a memory. It's just not, it's not in the same as a human
As you and me.
memory, and they're
Oh, we
not
have,
going
no.
to go around doing exacting revenge or anything like
No,
that.
it doesn't have that. And we should
Yeah.
know that
It's just different.
animal
Yeah.
body.
Okay, thank you. That's good.
Animal body is called as bhogatanu. It just works out its karma, experiences. Supposing like how do we Bharat Raja. Right? Bharat Raja was in the, you know the story of most of them must have heard in this hall. He was a very good king, and he went at the appropriate time of his life. He gave up the responsibilities and went to the forest to practice spirituality, and he was leaving. And he lived alone in a solitary place. He was not in amidst the community. That's one advantage of community. I think that person Gothe, he says genius are made in seclusion, isolation, and character is formed in the struggling world. When you struggle, and that's the advantage of living isolated spiritual life and community life. Community helps you in many ways. If I'm going wrong, there is somebody to alert me, hey, don't do this. That's a big help. It's a big help. And Bharat Raja was living alone. And then to his good luck or whatever it is, a fawn, isn't it? Was floating in the young one in the water. He rescued it, brought it, nursed it, treated it, and that little one started living with him. And over the years, he started getting attached to it. And when it goes out, it's growing. It will not be confined to your ashrama. It's not an ascetic. It goes out. It went, till it would come back, he will be restless. What happened to my little one? Did any animal eat? This is this sort of thing. And as he was aging, one fine day, death came to his door. And at that time, his fawn was not there. And he was worrying about it at the time the death came. And he saw the little fawn sitting in front of him. He said, have you come? And he died. No thinking of the Atma, no thinking of God. You have come. And he died. What was he seeing was the reflection, the impression which he had in his mind took the form of a form right in front of him. And like a leech, you know the leech, how it goes? It holds to something and then it lives. This is the example given in the scripture. How a soul passes from one body to another. Before it could, the sum totality, the strongest impression in the mind has a picture or something of that thought comes, and holding on to that thought, this body is dropped. It just throws off and good and holding on to that. And now it manifests. Like the whole karma pack has gone with it. And from there it starts. So this is how. So this king had seen the attachment which he had for this fawn taking a form of a fawn. And in his next birth, he was born as a deer. But with so much of spirituality he was a very sincere seeker. To a great extent, he had uh, walked in the path of evolution. That shows how difficult the spiritual life is. It's not so easy. Even there, you may have some obstacle. Until and you reach, that's why Holy Mother is to say, Morbe sadhu, udbe chai, tobe sadhur gungai. That sadhu will die, his ashes will fly in the air, then you sing the praise of the sadhu. Not till then. So you understand how tough the spiritual life is. It's not a fancy. It's not a women fancy of anyone. You can't do it. It's very hard work, hard work. And you don't get anything so freely. If we had to get so freely, it wouldn't have any worth. The more precious a thing is, the more worthy it is. And so sacred, we carefully we keep it. Anyway, so because he was a highly evolved soul, he had the memory of his previous birth. Okay, sorry. And so hence what he did was he used to linger around near where the ascetics are there, people who are reciting and studying and discussing scriptural truth. He would go there and he maintained that memory with great difficulty. He held on to it. And then once he worked out his karma on this body, the next he came back to the human birth. In that human birth, he decided, no, I'm not going to involve myself in anything. So he literally behaved like a fool, dumb fool. He didn't know to speak, and people thought he said dumb fellow. And that's a story. So animal body is where we work out the karma, but whereas a human body is where you accumulate karma. And human body is precious because you also learn how to transcend karma, transcend the laws which bind you. The very cry of a baby is no laws, because it has fallen come into this earth where laws catch it. This is, doctors may say, oh, this is the temperature. It was in the warmth of the mother when it fell down. It's due to the cold, it is crying. That doctors may say, but the mystics say, when the baby is in the womb, it has the knowledge of God, understands. Oh, and it even prays, I will always think of you, Lord. I will never deviate from the path of yoga. The moment it falls, then it eats the mud, starts crying. I. That's the way. Crying is asserting oneself. And then stops. That's how it goes. Anyway, we have studied so far only about karma, its effect, what karmas are, how strong they are, how they can bind us, all that. So practical aspects of karma yoga, we will learn from in our next talk, along with some of the shlokas from the Bhagavad. Thank you.
Yeah, there's just one question
Okay.
from Smita. She's asking, what are the three types of karma? Sanchita, prarabdha. What is the third type of karma?
If you don't do it, so it's coming, agami karma, which will be coming. Whatever.
Next talk.
Huh?
Next talk, is it?
Not next talk, we are going to deal with karma yoga. Because there we are stopping the future karma. The other karma which can come, that we are going to stop it through karma yoga. So how to stop the future karma? Karmas are three types. Past karma, which are working out, and the future karma. Karma yoga enables me to avoid that and just work it out this one and get out of this wheel of karma. The future karma we stop, and that's what karma yoga means. It will enable us to stop that karmas, and that's what we are going to discuss in our next. Thank you.
So this week on Thursday, we have the yoga class from 10 to 11:15 a.m. On Friday night, we have the fortnightly Bhagavad Gita discussion led by Pravrajika. Next Sunday, what is almost a monthly event, the Vedanta Book Club. We'll continue now delving into one of the articles by Pravrajika Sridharaprana. And just to also let you know, on Sunday the 17th, we'll have Sri Krishna's birthday celebration. And there'll be group chanting of the Gita, and there'll be talks by Siddhishnaya and Gajpanji. Now we'll conclude with a guided meditation, just a bit of setting up for that.